Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving there, Sebastian. Nothing like making it on
Nice
time.
to see you. Roman is
Just on time. Just we made it. Dogs and I were fighting. They wanted to be on camera before me.
Oh, do you have your dogs with you? Well, listen, everyone. First, before we begin, today we're giving thanks to those people that have been with us through the years, but specifically the guests that have been and the fans. Now, Sebastian has been not only has a number of shows, but also has been watching our show for the last 2 years. I've known Sebastian for 2 years, and he's actually my bonus child.
should Kathy. Should we
That is
give
true.
him the official title of a president of our cheerleader
Yes,
club?
yes, absolutely. Yeah. So we're
So,
going to start.
by the power invested on us, Sebastian, you're now the president of our cheerleader club.
Yay! I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Okay. So what we're going to do now, Sebastian, is we're going. Good morning, Roman. Also, happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Happy
Happy
Thanksgiving.
We're going
Thanksgiving.
to put you on the spot here, Sebastian. Please tell us why is it that you have been so um, supportive and really enthralled, and you share constantly about the dog connection. What is it about the dog connection that you really have liked?
Well, answer is within the question. It's a dog connection. That's it. It's a dog connection. I am connected to dogs. Dogs are my life. I'm just gonna do this. I never ever do this with my studio, but here is my world. So, you
Oh,
know, So they are everything I am all about. Besides, my business life, even in my business life, I run everything around my dogs. Um, Dogs have saved me, and multiple times over and again. So it is the connection in the name itself. I remember, we connected Kathy in a very unique way because there were technical issues happening on your and my end
that's when
for yeah,
we both lost our pages. Yeah.
absolutely. We lost our pages on this platform, and that's how we connected. But in the process, I found you, and as is history, I'm the bonus child, you're
Mhm.
the bonus mother, and the common thing that we had was the dogs. And that's where I love it, that it's the dog connection. So it literally worked that way. But ever since, I haven't stopped watching. It's like usually when you guys go live, it's 5 a.m. in the morning for me, depending on the daylight savings. It could be 4 a.m. So if I'm
Uh,
awake, if I get the notification, I'm always watching. And yeah, dogs are everything in my life. I'll put it this way. I don't know if I'll be here if my dogs didn't save me. So it's not me rescuing the dogs; it's the dog rescuing me and so many other people, just because of who they are. And
Right.
I love everything you guys do, um, from difficult to happy stories, from rescue to bad things that happen to the dogs, to all the challenges, and bringing uh, all the aspects of dog's emotion, dog's life from dog's perspective, and then connecting it to the human beings is what I like about your show. And I mean, there's so many cute dogs. There's so many puppies
Yeah.
talking, and there's so many incredible stories of recovery, rescue, um, even respectful, goodbyes. So it's making me emotional, but that's what Dog Connection TV is for me.
mhm.
Oh, well, thank you. And Gaetan and Roman and fans, I don't know if you know that Sebastian sent me a notice or a text saying that he watched 10 hours of marathon of our shows. And I thought, who does that? But
Wow.
yeah. So, Roman, good morning to you.
Good morning.
This is a thankful time, and we want to thank Sebastian. And then we're going to go through a number of the guests that have been on our show. And Sebastian, if you'll stay with us, because I'm sure you've probably seen some of these shows, so you remember them and you can comment. So, what are you thankful for with the Dark Connection show for the time that you've been involved? Because you actually were a guest on the show twice with you and your wife Barbara, and then you actually became a co-host.
I don't know what happened. I was drinking coffee, and all of a sudden, I'm grateful for everything.
Yeah,
I feel the time of Thanksgiving and in general, we need to be more grateful of. Oops, I'm grateful for that too. Hold on a second.
yeah, you're
My phone
frozen.
dropped from the screen. I'll fix that. Hold on a second. Everything is possible here. Okay, let's do that a little bit. So I'm thankful for the opportunities that I get working with dogs and making changes for people. And I'm thankful that I was supported by you guys and our audience to be able to express my concerns and my thoughts around animal care, and also appreciate the opportunity for being here today and being part of the Thanksgiving family.
Oh, that's wonderful. Gaetan, what are you thankful for? Because I do know that if you remember, it was you and I that started together, and actually the show started in 2012, but
Yes.
Gaetan came on in 2014.
Yes. I was forced in that relationship.
We twisted your arm, yeah.
The
We twisted.
anecdote is Kathy and I, we work on a project in 1997 in Chicago. No communication whatsoever for 15 years. I did not know where she was. No contact, no information, no nothing. And then one day she reached me. I don't know how, but she reached me and she said, "Gaetan, I'm doing a dog show. Would you like be part of it?" And I said, "Dog show?
Yeah.
No, no." And I was very polite. I didn't say a word. But in my mind, I said, me, dog show? Ah, I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm doing here. And then Kathy, the criminal one, she sent me a video. And the short video she sent me make me like, aha, there's a point there.
Yeah.
I can use the example of dog in their relationship with human to tell human how to relate to other human.
Right.
For instance, when you're sick, a dog would be near you, close to you, very compassionate, would be your presence. A human will jump on your case. I know a guy, I know a medicine, I do this, I know that. Blah, 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 blah. I'm sick. Give me a break. So
Uh-huh.
if human can take the example of dog and be just present
Yeah.
when
That's all they
somebody
need
is
to be.
sick, just be present. Don't don't jump on the case of the poor lady or the poor guy or the poor child which is sick. Give them a break. Be there for them, not for yourself. Not because you're smart and you know everything. Just be there like a dog. Dog is there, just
Right.
present.
Right.
So that's the reason why I joined the show. And I keep looking at this relation between dogs and human where I can learn from dog and tell the human, you see the human?
And you
You
become a
see
better
what the dog
human
is
being.
doing?
Yeah.
Do the same.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I don't know if
Hey,
our
wait, wait,
audience.
wait, wait, wait,
Oh, you
wait a
had to
minute.
say
Wait,
something?
wait, wait.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my turn. Kathy,
Oh, okay.
how did you get involved with the dog show?
How did I get involved?
Yes, how did
Okay.
you get involved with the
Yes.
Dog Connection show? How did you start it? Why were you on drug, for instance?
Actually, it wasn't the Dog Connection show to begin with. It was called Canine Community Reporters. We had
Yes.
canines that were uh, they became reporters, and we were reporting local news in different parts of the country, and that's how it started. And it was actually from a dog's perspective. So, in other words, if you were out in the neighborhood, I would take my dog with me and I would go into a local area and I would find out the news about what was happening with them in that area. And then the dog would report on it based on what they saw. And it was always very comical.
And
So
she
it was,
was very, yeah, that
yeah.
was really funny.
Yeah, and then my dog, who was the main canine community reporter, she got killed. So then
Oh,
it was, "Oh my god, what do I do? What do I do to" because I had put so much effort, and Sebastian, you know about putting a lot into marketing and to, branding, and all of a sudden, I don't have the top dog. So what do I do? So then I made Mandy, who was killed, the canine community reporter from heaven. So she was from Rainbow Bridge. And anyway, to so I don't have to go into a whole lot of detail. I wanted to explain to everyone that if you didn't know, um, Picture Mom and Pet Productions is our company. We're the ones that we're a pet media production company, and we produce a number of shows. And you may not have known that we also produce, we produce the Baby Boomer Investing Show, and that is run by Ron Surs, which happens to be my brother. We did run the Inspector Bark show, which was with Darcy Butkus, and Darcy was also on our show. And we had Roman in here uh, to begin with before he actually became a co-host with his wife.
hmm.
So the things that we have done over the years now, since 2012 when we incorporated, we have done cumulatively with all of the shows. We also did Canine Companions, and
Hmm.
not Companions, Canine Conversations. We did a number of them, and so far it's about 900 that we've done
You're
cumulatively.
you're very, very, very prolific. Beside the video for the audience, Katie is a graphic artist, exceptional, extraordinary. So when I start to get involved with her, professionally, I saw her posting like 4, 5, 6 times a day, maybe more, images of exceptional quality. I did not know she was a graphic artist. I thought that she was buying stock footage and putting that online, putting some title and done.
No.
No, 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 no. Not with Kathy. Kathy, she make everything from scratch. She's like a baker, but a baker in the art of graphic. And she posts day after day, almost like every hour, boom, something is popping. Every 2 hours or something is popping. 7 days a week, all year long. And at some point, our audience reach about what, 10 million, and
12,
then
12 million. We reached
yeah,
12 million.
I was trying to get Kathy. I was trying to build up, 10
Oh,
million,
that's when I
and
met
then
Sebastian.
yes, but Sebastian was a 10 million mark, and Sebastian is 1 out of 10 million. So that's the rarity of Sebastian that I salute, by the way. And then she went to 12 million, and she peaked around 14 million at some point. And then we got the disaster with the Facebook page be banned, disappear, vanish,
Unpublished.
unpublished for
Yep.
no known reason.
Yeah.
And there was no explanation, no justification, no reason associated with the show. We did not change anything to the show. We didn't insult anybody. We were not from the right political or the quantum cosmic realm where I don't know what a dwarf person dressed like a Santa Claus is going to bring millions to everybody. No, we were not doing anything like that. and we're not insulting anybody. I hope Sebastian would never insult you, by the way. And then we have the page disappear.
Right. Yeah.
And how many times, Kathy, did you went to the process of having the page restore? One time,
No,
two times,
16 times
16
we
times.
appealed. Yeah.
Kathy, 16 times. This is a case of perseverance and patience. And patience and perseverance, as everybody knows, it's the key of any power. So she's a very powerful lady.
Hey, I'm going to
And
say,
and
okay,
and 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 she become officially from Facebook an influencer.
from Amazon, an
Amazon,
influencer.
Amazon. Sorry,
Yeah. Yeah.
my apology. I thought it was from Facebook. So this is a little bit of the power of Kathy we have with us today. So
Okay. I'm
my
going to say hi.
queen, I wish you like the best Thanksgiving ever.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Hi, Ron. That's my brother. Hi, Dale.
Hi, Dale.
Good
Lou.
morning, Lou, and Billy. Billy's she's talking about what Roman said. Well said, Roman. I too appreciate the opportunity and thankful for people like yourself to change mindsets. Gaetan, great story and perception. Loved it. And then happy gobble gobble day. And are
Thank
you
you.
accepting new shows? Yes, we are, Billy. Yes, we are. And Roman has his cup to his head. You froze there for a minute.
Yeah, you were like the
Yeah.
cup in the face like this.
Yeah. So Sebastian, now when you were watching all of the shows and you saw different ones and you were commenting, I know you like to come on when you were live when we were live, but that wasn't possible all the time. But when you did, I want to apologize if we weren't able to show some of your comments because you are very, very good at really interacting. And you've said to me, am I posting too much? Never too much. Never too much.
Well, I'll put it this way. Right now, the biggest thing I'm missing is not being able to comment because I want to just type in comment.
Well, go ahead.
Okay, comment from Sebastian itself. Go ahead, make it comment. We'll post
You
it.
know, so the fun part for me is that I'm lying in my bed, I'm cuddling my dogs, and I'm watching a dog show. And the conversations you guys have, uh, just like right now, Gaetan, uh, he is the canine comedian, I would say. So that's fun. When Gaetan starts talking, I'm always giggling. And then there's such strong stories you have. And since Roman joined, I have learned so much about the rescue, about the behavior, about the getting along with the dog, trying to understand them. So it's not just the fun part, it's actually learning so much and understanding. And I relate to that because that's why I can't stop commenting. Because as you guys are talking, I just go like, oh yeah, I know that. I experienced that. Oh yeah, I did not know that. So half of the show for me is like either I'm learning something great or I relate to something, and I'm so excited because that's what I've done with my dogs. That's what my dogs do to me. That's how we communicate. That's how we understand. So for me, not commenting is really difficult, and I just enjoy it. And you guys are a crazy bunch that I love. What I love most about the show is, even though we're all humans here, it's the most doggy show there can be in the world, and it's like we understand in this show everything that is happening is from a dog's perspective. It's not from your and my perspective. It is really from a dog's perspective,
Mhm.
and that's refreshing. As you guys were saying in the beginning, when Gaetan said, I also tell people, okay, you know how to solve this? Learn from a dog. You know how to deal with this? Learn from a dog. You know how to cope with it? Learn from a dog. You know how to be a better person? Learn from a dog. So that's what this show is for me. And I'm crying. Sorry. It's just overly emotional for me because dogs are my life. One thing I keep crying because I'm remembering my dog that passed away too early. And that was the kind of picture, just like her, you had when the first time I actually tuned in, and it made me very emotional. And I had that connection as well in the beginning. And for me, what has been is everything I learned from you guys, I take it back. I have, I don't like to say I rescued the dogs, the dog rescued me. I have 28 different dogs with severe conditions in three different Asian countries who I support. I don't want to use the word sponsor or anything, but I support them in my way with a couple of other friends. And of course, I'm not able to be in 3 or 4 different countries. So we coordinate with each other and we do all that. These 28 dogs, we started with 3, 4, and these 28 dogs now either they're at the last leg of their life or they have some really difficult physical condition or medical condition, and it's really hard for them. So the goal that we have, we call the our team AC Pause Rescue. That comes from my first dogs, uh, Apple and Chocolate. And yes, all my dogs are named edible. So all my dogs are edible. So we started AC Pause Rescue to help these dogs. They can't talk to you, but if you try and be patient and try and listen, you understand. And of course, the vet is there to help you understand what's really going on. For us, the only goal has been ever since is to give them the princely life that they can get before they pass on. And that's why it keeps getting emotional, because I wish in some way I could gather all these dogs and bring them on camera right now. Because you look at them, um, I've had the honor of actually in 2012 meeting some of the dogs initially when we started this, and then this is a cycle. Right now we have 28 dogs, but it's every couple of years, a couple of them pass on, and then we have more. We try to as much as we can afford to sort of care for, and it's just beautiful to see them in comfort. In You can see them talking to you, you can see the thanks in their eyes, you can see the gratitude that they have. And I don't know how to explain this, but anybody who's watching this and anybody who watches this show, I think will understand that I can see them saying thank you, you saved me. And we end up sort of talking back to them like, no, you saved us.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what it has been. And my two dogs who control my life, as I call them, my puppy kings, they literally saved me. Uh, I I I fight with depression. I fight with PTSD. I have had suicide ideations all my life, and these dogs are the reason I wake up. They are a huge excuse and a reason and a purpose for me to wake up and be alive for, because who's going to look after them? And the reality is I'm giving myself that excuse, but they are actually saving me.
That's
They
right. And
know
that's what
when
happens.
they know my moods, they know what's happening, they know when it's a
Mhm.
bad day for me. And um, they really they talk. They talk. Anybody who says to me, "How can a dog talk?" You have no idea. They are
Yeah.
so
Exactly.
expressive. They are
Yeah.
so clear.
Yeah.
My Cider is he literally commands me, "Okay, get the blanket now." And I know he's saying that because
Yeah. Right.
you
Yeah.
have to get even if I don't want to sleep, even if it's not winter, I need to get the blanket. I need to lie down and I
Right.
need to open the cave for him to enter. And if I dare move, no, this is sleep time. So they talk, they tell you everything. They
Mhm.
absolutely do.
Okay, so thank you, Sebastian. So now
Thank
what
you.
we're going to do is we're going to look at some of the guests that we really felt brought some real special insight for all of us. And one of them was, I don't know if you guys remember Ron Stein from BabbleBark.
Mhm.
BabbleBark is an application that allows you to work with veterinarians, work with a number of organizations all together under one app. That was beautiful. We also had the group from the El Paso Animal Services to the rescue. That was during the time of COVID. If you remember, they couldn't, that's when the shelters had closed down and they couldn't have any adoptions going on. So they actually formed a foster program where they got some cages, some food, everything, and they brought the dogs to the homes with the cages and the food. It was very, very nice. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Okay. And who remembers our favorite, Dr. Peter Rourke from Dog is My Co-Pilot? He was on twice with us and we did a special show. Do you remember him, Gaetan?
Yes, of course. I remember the
Okay.
interview you did with him, the last one especially.
Okay. The very first one, I want to let everyone know that what really happened was I was in a studio apartment and it was 100 degrees out and I had Dr. Rourke sitting outside in the patio area and I was interviewing him and nobody knew that.
Yeah.
And he was so cool about it and he really is a super, super guy. He was so cool about it. It didn't bother him at all. So,
So
and
you
it's
put the
funny,
poor guy outside 100
outside,
degree
yeah,
plus. You
yeah,
were inside and under air conditioning. I'm comfortable.
yeah.
Definitely seasoned.
I have doctor like we'll talk to us now.
Yeah. And then we had Joanne Ferrari,
Yeah.
who is a state representative here in New Mexico. She was really, really good at helping us understand what was happening in the New Mexico area. And then we had, if you don't remember, do you remember Zach Sco? Zach is with Marley's Mutts. Sebastian, did you see any of those shows? Or Roman, did you see? You were on that with us, weren't you, Roman?
Yeah, Roman was with us.
Yeah,
With Zach.
yeah,
He's frozen. Roman is frozen.
yeah. That's okay. Can you talk,
I'm
Roman?
Sure.
I'm taking all the bandwidth.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Now,
you, but
we
yeah,
hear you, but once in a while you froze
yeah.
and you have
Yeah,
a face.
I have a really bad connection, and I'm not sure
Yeah.
how long it will last. But
Okay.
everybody's on the phones right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then we had Zach on again because he started a program called Positive Change with prison programs. And that was a very, very enlightening show, if you remember. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Billy says, oh, this came from LinkedIn. Finally, we're getting a connection from LinkedIn. Thank you, Billy, for.
That's me. That's me.
Yeah. Oh, that's you. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's you, Sebastian. Okay, great.
Another contribution from
Yeah.
Sebastian from Australia.
Yeah. And then we had, we talked about the shelters and rescues and boarding facilities. Are they heaven or hell?
Yeah.
By the way, a lot of these topics are all ones that Roman helped put together for us. And on that show, we had Dr. Sarah Pisano, and we're looking forward to creating a new show with Sarah Pisano, which is temporarily calling it Shelters Across America, but she wants to change that. But that'll be coming up in 2022. And we also had Steve, what is Kelko? And he's with the Great Pyrenees group. He was on the show. And then we had, if you remember, Clive Wynn, Dr. Wynn. He had created, this is Dr. Wynn, and he wrote a book. He also is just a wonderful guy that really has done a lot of research and scientific work on dogs. And then we had Spencer Hodgetts from Rebounding. I'm sorry, Rebound Dog. Rebounding, oh geez, Kathy. Rebounding is a thing that you jump on. No, Rebound Dog. Okay, comment about any of those people so far.
It was a great year.
Yes. Yeah,
And
then we had Maria Godovich from Dr. Dogs. We had Lou Cataruza twice from Brother Claus. And as a matter of fact, Lou is offering for anybody to go to the Brother Claus website, and any parents that would like to have their kids be interviewed by Santa Claus, by not by Santa Claus, by Brother Claus or Sister Claus. He's offering that to have that done, a 5-minute interview. So I will put a link in the comments so that you can go to that website and book a show for your kids.
Hmm.
And then we had, if you remember, Mayor Max.
Max,
Oh
yes.
my God. Here's a dog that is the mayor of a small town, and he was duly elected and has continued to be elected through all the years. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
I remember that one a lot because I was fascinated by that episode. It's just fun. It's just so
Yeah.
real, and and the whole campaign they created around that. So it's not just a funny thing. It's actually a very thoughtful thing that they have organized, and how the dog is really running the show, and it's
And they have
beautiful.
deputy dogs now, too.
Yeah.
And they want to have canine community reporters out there as well, too. So I sent out a bunch of our badges. So hopefully in 2022, we'll have some of those. And then we had
Oh, that's very
numerous
touching.
times with
Yeah.
Rico's Miracles. Rico is a special, special dog that has done a great deal of work at Ronald McDonald's house. And this is Callie,
Hmm.
a special little girl that he has really brought a long way. He's been with her for 7 years now
Hmm.
in helping her through her pain, through her anguish. And he's just Ellen Lockwood and her sister Barbara Lockwood. Rico is their fur baby.
Hmm.
And they have just done some wonderful things in helping others. I can't say enough about them.
And
And
Kelly, the little
and
girl
Kelly,
Kelly, is an exceptional human being. Two
yes,
anecdote I remember. It was her birthday at the Ronald McDonald House. She just received a surgery a day or two before, and for her birthday, she wanted to share her cake with everybody in the Ronald McDonald House. That's one of the
yeah,
anecdote I remember about her. And the other one, which bring me to tears, is when I heard that on her way to Ronald McDonald via using the train, she was at the train station, and it was a person there begging, and the person was rejected or pushed away by people around that person. And Kelly was there, and she took out of her allowance $1, and she went to the man and gave the dollar to the man. That
yeah,
was
yeah,
really,
yeah,
that's touched me to the heart, to
right,
the core of my heart.
right,
And
yeah.
she's a very special human being. And of course, Rico is a great support for her.
Oh, yeah. And then we had Billy, and Billy actually is watching the show right now. She was so good and so informative that we decided to have her on for 2 shows.
Yes.
So she was back to back.
We
And
push her against the wall the first show.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
We
And
have too
then
many questions for her.
and then we had Lon Hodge
Ah.
and Gander, super, super people. They had been with us on, I think, 4 shows.
Mhm.
And this one show was after we went through with Lon the loss of his dog. Lon has PTSD, and he is a veteran, and he dedicates his entire life to helping others get a service dog just like Gander. He has over 200,000 people following him. And then when Gander died, Lon's world totally just fell
Mhm.
apart for him
Mhm.
because he had become so close and Gander knew his every move. Gaetan had the privilege of being able to go there personally and meet Gander and see this incredible dog and the
Yeah.
things that he could do.
It's my first impression of that dog. When I came across, first impression, I said to myself, "This is a human being reincarnated as a dog."
Yeah,
And his interaction with Lon Hodge was unbelievable. The closeness of the relationship, the tightness of the relationship. I never saw that anywhere. It was remarkable. It was like beauty. It was
Right.
inspiring. If human can interact the same way that Gander and Lodge interact together, peace will be with us
Yes.
forever.
Yeah. Right. Right. So
So that
then
was
what?
a great lesson.
Yes. So then what Lon did is he went and sponsored some other dogs and he brought in two of them. Now, this is Gander in this picture, but
Right.
if you look here on the right, that's May.
Yep.
And now he has a thing called Operation Push, where he
Fetch.
Fetch. I mean,
Yeah.
Operation Push. That's a Chicago thing. Operation Fetch. And May, the one on the right, that's now his new
Companion.
dog. Yeah,
Yeah.
companion. Right. Okay, Roman,
And
can you?
Lon do a job. He's not paid. He's not accepting money for himself. He's living in a very modest way. He's not really a homeless person, but he's living in a RV. And immediately you have the image of an RV, a big thing like no. He has the smallest RV you can get on the market. I said it was 9 feet. He said no, it's 8 feet. And he's living in there and crisscross the country to help, especially veteran, which are homeless, which are in a very difficult situation. And he do that like day in and day out. He never think about himself, ever.
Right. Right.
So, Lon, don't give up. There's a grace, there's a power, there's God with you. Keep up the good work. Thank you for your work. I'm thankful for that.
Yes. Yeah. And then, hey, we've got to remember the time that Gaetan came to Las Cruces, New Mexico, with pet rescue pilots, Julian Javar. It was absolutely wonderful. And that was at a time when we were involved with Barkhouse and Pet Rescue and Helen Woodward and the Dog Connection. And Barkhouse welcomed Gaetan, and we also did a follow-up with him. So at this point, do you think we want to show the video that just shows a little bit about what happened?
Okay.
Okay, let's go through that. Gaetan was actually filming this inside the plane.
I founded the organization Pet Rescue Pilots, and it's founded for a couple of different reasons. One is knowing that there are areas in the country that suffer from overcrowded shelters and a high euthanasia rate of pets in their shelters. And then there are areas in the country where there's just there's undeniably a lack of dogs and adoptable dogs and cats. So I noticed that with my flying, I was able to cut down on the distances between these areas and the time travel. And so I was regularly doing trips up to from the Central Valley of California up to Washington State, Western Canada, etc. And now I have a great partnership with Barkhouse, New Mexico, so we're doing flights regularly out of New Mexico as well.
Oh my God, look at the eyes. just the opposite of the siblings.
Really?
Yeah, the other one is blue on the front.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, you guys need nail trim.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I gotta get a picture of that.
She's about a year old.
Okay, they are going to have to use some of the other crates, but he just meant the two big, not all the dogs, but the two big dogs. Well, that was awesome. Okay. Good.
Come on, Jada.
Go, Jada.
Good girl.
I'm from Barkhouse. We're the nonprofit organization who is flying the, and well, we partner with pet rescue pilots, and we're the ones supplying the animals to fly them to the places like California and to our receivers. They're coming from our foster network mostly, so we have a team of fosters that take care of the puppies and dogs that come to us, and so we kind of coordinate with all of them to arrive here at the airport, and then we ship them to, like today we're shipping to Helen Woodward Animal Center in San Diego, California. Here in southern New Mexico and in the Southwest in general, we have a major pet overpopulation issue, and so it's not difficult to find the supply of animals to bring, into our foster network, into our, our overall Barkhouse network. And so in coordinating with all of those people, we bring the dogs here and then we ship them to, areas where they'll have a better chance of finding a home instead of our at-risk area here in Las Cruces. Unfortunately, it's, you don't want to say it, but more than likely they'll end up long-term in a shelter system where they run the risk of disease or any number of unpleasant outcomes, the worst of which being euthanasia, which far too many animals are being euthanized due to just a lack of space. Transport is the thing that can actually cut into the pet overpopulation right now. We can ship out between 20 to 65 to 70 animals at any given time, and we're trying to do it where we can do it weekly, and so we can really take the shelter population, which usually sits between 300 and 400 animals, and if we're chipping away at that weekly 70, 65 animals, whatever we can accommodate, we can really make waves and create that space that's very badly needed. Flying is great. I mean, it allows us to reach a much further destinations in a short amount of time. Transport by and large, if we're doing it by ground, where we're going today, that would be a 10-hour drive. So we're going to be able to get these animals from Las Cruces, New Mexico today to Helen Woodward there in San Diego in 3 hours time. So it's a lot better for them. It's easier on the animal, number one. But then, so many of our receiver destinations are kind of further away, the Pacific Northwest, Idaho, Colorado. So it allows us to extend our reach and be able to accomplish our mission.
And now I have a great partnership with Barkhouse, New Mexico, so we're doing flights regularly out of New Mexico as well, which is another heavy burden location.
Okay, something went wrong there.
Technology.
Okay.
So that was the biggest production of 2020.
Right.
My crew and I, we stay at the Ritz-Carlton in Las Cruces, and we have like 4 vehicles and 3 trucks of equipment. No, we were there. I was the only crew member.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
This is the smallest production I ever done in 50 years. I mean, the last time I did a production like that, it was in the 70s. I was in college. I'll do a video. Give me the camera. Give me the microphone. And done.
Yeah.
But well, it was a COVID, and there was no way to get a crew there. There was no way to, and I used the the limited resources available at the time. And I'll forgive you. Ask for your forgiveness for the lack of quality in the sound. But the general idea is 25 pets have been moved from Las Cruces to San Diego that day. And from there, they have been picked up and sent for adoption. And they were all safe, because otherwise, without that, the destination was euthanasia.
Right. Okay, Sebastian, you wrote here. Such a noble thing to do. I wish no
Do you
dog
mind
had
to read your own
to ever be
contribution?
euthanized and could find family instantly. They are doing a great thing to rescue as many as they can. So he, he, this is amazing. So
Yeah,
here on the
there's a new
show and then still commenting.
there's a
What
new
is
technology
interesting?
that
Yeah.
now the comments can be heard in the voice of the commenter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was thinking exactly that. I have
But I was
Sebastian on
gonna
the video. I
say, yeah.
have the voice of Kathy,
yeah,
and Sebastian is reading, and we hear the voice of Kathy. That was interesting.
Hey, Leanne. Leanne is a wonderful, wonderful lady. She's got a beautiful dog. She's rescued, and again, the same kind of relationship. And her dog looks exactly like my puppy, who passed away very early and had a very tragic story, but bittersweet story. Um, I was gonna say before I forget. So Gaetan is like the Steven Spielberg of the dog world.
yeah,
So so that's what I'm gonna call you from now, Gaetan,
yeah,
Steven Spielberg of the
Uh,
dog world. But that's what it is. This show, I can't stop commenting. You guys have such great videos, such great stories. This entire story, that's what mesmerized me. Like, what, dog rescue through plane? Like they're really flying them over.
yeah,
That's big. I was like,
yeah.
why are not more people doing that? There's so
yep,
many places. There are cultures where dogs, stray dogs, are treated like it's horrible. And there are a lot of people who want to rescue these dogs, but they don't know how, where to go. And if something like this was international, if it was global, it was a huge operation.
hmm,
How many more dogs will have families and better lives? They're healthy
right,
dogs. They just don't have a family. They just don't have a home.
right,
So
right.
this is what brought to me was like, huh? Dog in a plane, what's going on? But when I watched the entire episode, it was so much fun because
Yeah.
they're really doing a great thing.
So Roman, comments. You keep free. We know you keep freezing because you got bad bandwidth, but we can hear you. So
That's good.
yeah, you had a cup in your eye for a while, but that's okay.
You have a rate frame of about a frame
Yeah.
every 3 seconds,
Yeah,
but we can hear your voice.
Doing a show as dedicated as you guys do it's really a lot, because we have to see that Kathy was not in a healthy place,
yeah,
not in a good health condition, and she was live streaming from the hospital,
yeah,
plugged into machines.
yeah,
And she didn't. You guys don't do that as self-promotion, and sometimes I feel like, hey, stop talking about me a lot. But I feel you're coming from a very healthy, selfless perspective,
Oh, I'm gonna
promoting
cry.
dogs. You're pointing out the reason why dogs are so helpful to people and animals, of course, but also you're not losing your moral and ethical compass. And I remember several times we had a conversation about things, and I kind of raised my flags, and you're like, "Oh, wow, then we're not taking it." Period.
That's right.
And so that gives me that support, that I say, you know what, I will support that show because it comes with a healthy, moral, and ethical. There's nothing better than being morally right with animals,
Mm-hmm.
not promoting violence, not promoting submission, not promoting, us being the leaders or us being the boss, and really raise the dogs where they're supposed to be.
Right.
It's a big thing. It's shifting consciousness, and I think creating a critical mass to that consciousness shifting heals trauma, and it's a big thing. We have genetic trauma, we have ancestor trauma, and we have this animal suffering the last, let's say, 200 years more than ever, being traumatized, and it has an effect to the dog collective. So I think the show that you guys do has a very high spiritual meaning in any context. Would I compare it to Mother Teresa? Definitely yes, because I believe that Mother Teresa shift consciousness with her actions, and other names. I don't want to go down that road, but you guys shift consciousness, and even though sometimes we have like 3 or 4 people watching the show, you're not giving up. You says, you know what, we have to keep doing. We have to keep doing. And even though Facebook deleted it, back up and running, who cares? Let's keep doing what we have to do.
That's right.
And I feel that's a lot of karma things clearing out here.
Yeah, that's true.
It's unbelievable what social media right now is in process to do in regards to not having people becoming aware of dogs and their capacity, because it's not right in their agenda.
Yeah.
And I feel you guys are still doing an awesome job looking beyond that.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Thank you, Roman. And it's funny, we lost a page, and I have to say that Gaetan and I at that point had to think about what is it that we want to do, and we decided to move forward and still persevere. And I want to thank you, because although we don't have 2 million, we don't have 12 million, at the time we lost our page, but when we did get it back, which I might mention, what they said was, oops, we made an error.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything wrong. So please accept our apologies and hope there was no inconvenience. That was after.
No,
You're right.
Yeah.
I remember this scenario.
You lost your page. You lost your viewers.
Yeah.
You deleted the page.
Yeah. And also, would you fill out this survey? Well, I filled out that survey. Yes, I did.
But just to say what she's not saying is our audience dropped by 95%, 98%.
Well, yeah, because we had over 300,000. We lost over 100,000 fans, and then we lost we went from 12 million, and then there was some algorithm thing, so we were about 5 million, and then we went down to 11,000. But I have to say that here we are 2 years later, and it has been a struggle. For those of you that produce shows, you know that the algorithms are such that you have to work very, very hard with promoting and branding and everything else. But as of today, we are up. Our reach is at 2.4 million, and our post engagements are at a little over 180,000. So we're very proud of that. Yeah. So anyway,
that's your fault. That's you. You did that, Katie. You did that, Katie. And Roman, you spoke. May I say something? Your contribution to the show is unique, and your perspective on the show contribute to the paradigm shift in the relationship between human and dogs, but also by extension between human and animals. And your contribution there is definitively a key factor to support this approach and support our effort to change the relationship between humans and dogs, and relationship between humans, and for me, I speak for myself, between human and animals at large. So your contribution is more than appreciate. It's priceless, is valuable. I'm looking forward for your book. I'm telling the audience there's a book in the process. One day you will surprise us, maybe in 5 years, maybe in 10 years, who knows? But there's a book in the making, and I put all my support to you morally at this moment. But keep going, keep doing the great work you're doing. I'm very, very thankful for what you contribute to the show to the relationship between humans and animal and human with dogs. Thank you for that. Kleenex, anyone?
Well, I just wanted to mention also that, Roman, when you came into the show, Gaetan and I said, "Oh wow, what a difference! What a difference!" Because we were so used to seeing dog trainers do dog training, sit, stay, etc.
Mhm.
You have that special something where you bring the heart of the dog into your own heart, and you
Mhm.
look at them and you treasure them and you value them as though they were your own. So, as a behaviorist, and now we've got Billy, who is the same type of mold. I mean, she's the female you, and just the idea of having somebody on the show, you filled a gap that Gaetan and I did not have the capabilities of doing. I have knowledge about dogs, but not the knowledge that you have. So we want to thank you for being with us and being part of the show for these years. And it's a real honor. So thank you.
Thank you. I want to
Oh,
say
wait.
that having a show like you do may help one dog survive, and that dog that survived can help a person survive.
Mhm.
And because that person survived, he can help other people survive. Everything is interconnected, interlinked
Yep.
together. We cannot
Yep.
just see one thing and not seeing the whole thing. We cannot just see one dog and not seeing the collective. We cannot see a show and not seeing the influence. And being an influencer, because you have to go beyond yourself, and you have to see the product of your actions and the way you express yourself. And every word that you say, people will take. And just as Szebastian said, the show helped me and my dog helped me, I can say the same thing. If it wouldn't be dogs, I wouldn't do what I do now, and maybe I wouldn't do that at all. As especially for people who have severe trauma and complex trauma, these are the people who are even more sensitive to dogs because they're just more empathetic. They're more in tune with what's happening. Sometimes, in order to understand, a higher and higher cause, you have to come from lack of, so you can appreciate what it means not to have it. So
Well
if somebody,
said.
right, if somebody hasn't experienced love and then he is confronted with unconditional love of a dog, he can recognize the difference of it and then value the whole thing. So the experience we have is of benefit in all directions. And we cannot stay in a trauma space, and we cannot be feeling victimized, because we can create our trauma into our superpowers. And so Gaetan and Kathy and Szebastian and Bill, all of us basically turned our trauma into a superpower, tried to share what we know to the community to just make a path for others to step on.
Oh, well said. Oh my goodness.
Agreed.
Cheers. Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah,
you.
and here's from Billy. Billy says, "It is so nice to connect with you, Roman. It really makes me feel less alone in connecting on the overall approach to dogs, humans, and our relationship." Very nice. Oh, and Brigitte, hello, my dear friend. Hello, she's in Africa.
She connected
Oh,
us. She tagged me when your page was deleted. She connected us.
Oh, and Catherine, thank you for being on the show. Thank you. Well said. Yes, thank you.
wow. We're blessed this morning.
Catherine is my dear friend in New York.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, Roman, listen, you bring tears to my eyes when I see that everything that you have. The one thing I love about our show is that there's no pretense. We're totally transparent. We let everyone know exactly how we're feeling. And if tears come to our eyes, then tears come to our eyes. If there's an emotional moment or a moment when a dog is saved or a human is saved, then that is wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, one thing is important for dogs. You have to be authentic. You cannot lie to a dog, and the dog will see who you really are. So yeah, if you wear PJs, then you admit it and be done with it.
Okay, it's
you
time
so
for us
much,
to.
everyone. And
That's why we love you,
Yeah,
Robin.
yeah. Okay, we're going to close the show now. So,
Thank you. Happy
Szebastian,
Thanksgiving to everybody, by the
yeah,
way.
yeah. Final thoughts. Final thoughts.
Well, I'm just going to agree with exactly what Roman said. And, to me, dog is that relationship, that unconditional, no betrayals, no judgment. You don't need to get ready for them. You don't need to impress them. No matter what happens through the day, when you wake up, it's the same crazy affection. When you go to bed, it's the same cuddle. When their love is always fresh. They never get tired of loving you, and you can never ever get that from a human being.
Oh, great. That's wonderful. Sebastian, I know you got up at 5 o'clock this morning, actually earlier, because you
4
had me
a.m.
wake you, had me wake you up. Yeah. Want to thank you for being on the show. He's in Australia,
Pleasure.
everyone.
It's an
Yeah.
honor.
so
Thank
if I
you.
get it
Thank you,
right, if I
Sebastian.
look downwards, I would see him on the other side of the earth.
Well, you'll see him upside down.
Well, actually, I'm hanging upside down. I just have my legs hidden, so you can't tell.
Oh, okay. Let me see here. What am I doing here? Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
You want to say anything, Gaetan, or you just want to say goodbye? Goodbye to everyone. Thank you. And thank
Tons
you
of
to all of our
blessing to
guests
everyone.
and our fans for always being there for us and for supporting us for so many years. We really, really sincerely do appreciate it.
We're
Okay.
thankful. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.